All right, so we have Joe Rogan making a little joke at Brendan Schaub's expense, and it was actually pretty funny. And it seems like Brendan Schaub, being such a bad comedian, has made for great material for other comedians. And it's like every comedy podcast has made fun of him at this point. And now even Joe Rogan is getting in on the action.
It depends. I just watched this. Have you seen this documentary, The Most Hated Man on the Internet?
No.
Whew.
Who is the most hated man on the internet?
His name is Hunter Moore. I don't know.
Brendan Schaub just went like this. Oh. Whew.
I remember this guy.
I don't even want to get caught in these crosshairs. I don't even want to be close to this. Damn it. There wasn't... I literally...
Whew. Whew, that was close.
So I'm sure Brendan wasn't too happy about that, but at least right after this, Joe did talk about how much he loves Brendan, because he probably realized that what he just said wasn't nice and he probably hurt Brendan's feelings.
I'm just saying, is that nice?
By the way, God damn it, Andrew. I just did Andrew Schultz's podcast. I did a bunch of podcasts in New York, and it was always like the countdown to when that was going to come up.
Right.
And I'm glad we just got it out of the way real early. Okay.
Listen, I love Brendan Schaub.
We love him. We love
He's my
him.
homie. He's always going to be I don't care what dumb shit he says.
Dude,
I don't give a fuck. I love that guy to death. I'm a ride or die.
Yeah, so I thought it was funny that Whitney said that when she was in New York doing podcasts and when she went on Andrew Schultz's podcast, she was just waiting for the moment for somebody to bring it up. It was like the elephant in the room. And that's what it feels like with some of these podcasts. Whenever somebody brings up Brendan Schaub, it's like the other person was waiting for them to bring it up, or like waiting to see if they should bring it up or something. And I feel like it has made this whole comedy podcast scene a lot more interesting. Like, one of the greatest moments was when Andrew Schultz had on Brendan Schaub, and I got to give Andrew some credit for this. He asked him about the truck walk. He asked him what the deal is with all the drama, and it was awesome. His response was classic.
What's with the Trash Tuesday beef? When are we going to settle the Trash Tuesday beef?
It's settled as far as,
Did you try to wog Annie Letterman to your truck?
No, it doesn't make sense. No. It doesn't make sense.
And Andrew was probably waiting the whole podcast to ask him about that, because, I mean, what else are they really talking about? They're just going to talk about comedy and comedy specials. And it's good to ask a hard-hitting question once in a while. And a question I feel like most people are kind of scared to ask him, because Brendan did a bunch of podcasts while he was promoting a special, and I don't think anybody else really brought it up to him. Obviously, when he's on Tiger Belly, they talked about it, but other than that, I don't think anybody else really brought it up to him. I think Andrew is probably one of the only people, so maybe it's Brendan that hacked Andrew's comedy special, because he was probably pissed when Andrew brought that up to him. I mean, he was completely caught off guard. He didn't even know what to say. Even though it's so funny to think that all this drama's going on and everyone on the internet's talking about it, but Brendan's doing podcasts and everyone's supposed to act like nothing's happening. Like, I'm sure all the comedians in Joe Rogan's circle were paying attention to this and talking about this while it's going down. And I know Joe was just talking about how much he loves Brendan, but I think after all this controversy, I'm sure he was a little upset with him. Like, when he's talking about Bobby, it sounded like he did feel bad for him and he was kind of annoyed.
Somehow or another, my name got entered into this thing, and I don't want to get into it in too much detail, but I'm like, okay, I must call Bobby. And I called him and I said, listen, I don't know what kind of, I'm just hearing about this nonsense now, but I love you. I would never let anybody talk bad about you.
So I'm sure Joe was annoyed with Brian and Brendan after all this. And he probably just thinks Brendan needs to be smarter about these things. Like, I'm sure he tells him every day, like, you got to stop paying attention to the comments. It's not that serious. You shouldn't be suing people. You shouldn't be threatening to sue people. And, Joe, he gets a ton of hate. Like, he probably gets as much as Brendan, probably even more, because he's a lot bigger. Like, his subreddit, there's a lot of hate on there, too. A lot of people don't like him. And people are trying to cancel him every day. So I'm sure he's trying to talk some sense into Brendan, and maybe he has to have another one of those talks with him, and instead of telling him to quit UFC fighting, he's telling him to quit comedy and just stick to podcasting and maybe start a reality TV show. I think people would be interested in that. No, but I think Joe should tell Brendan to get rid of that team that he has working for him, the people that found those Reddit documents that showed that Tiger Belly was associated with the Fighter and the Kid subreddit. That was just embarrassing, and that's what really escalated all this. And now it's so funny that we're at the point where Joe's talking about how Brendan is the most hated person on the internet, and this all started from just a little giggly girly talk, or whatever the hell Kalila calls it. Oh, and also there were some rumors of H3 going on the Tiger Belly podcast, so I'm sure if that happened, they're probably going to talk about Brendan. So if that happens, I'll keep you updated. And also something about making a video on Joe Rogan's good friend Eddie Bravo. He hasn't made an appearance on the podcast in quite a long time.
Its background whatsoever, talking
I'm
about
crazy.
these photos. I
I'm
know,
crazy.
But why think like that? Why,
I'm crazy.
But why indulge
crazy.
that?
I'm crazy.
What's
Told
the
you I'm
advantage?
crazy. I'm
I know,
crazy.
but what's the advantage that it's not round?
Look
Why
into
wouldn't
it.
they
Doesn't make
control?
sense. Why-
They can just control
why
people
You
lie?
just
gotta
as
find
easily
out
on
and
a
find the
ball.
sense. You could find the sense.
No, the real
it's really
problem would
easy. You
be-
put them on a ball because, again, I'm crazy. You put them on a ball. My guess is you're on a ball. You're nowhere. Don't try to go anywhere. Just stay there and work.
Oh, hell no.
Stay there and work.
Yeah, so if you want to see more of that, whatever the hell that was, make sure you hit the subscribe button, then hit that like button, then leave me a comment, and then I'll catch you at the next video.